And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben, here for the daily. What the pluck is going on with cryptocurrencies and the rest of the world? Hey, anybody hear anything about UFOs lately? Unidentified flying objects over Alaska and Canada. I'm sure there's nothing to see there. They're literally throwing the book at us, guys. The powers that be are in a full-fledged, all-out war against anyone who is awake, not woke, awake. They're attacking cryptos. They're attacking UFO. Because, number one, if they shot down UFOs, I mean real UFOs, you think they're really going to put that on the nightly news? Hey, we shot down E.T. FYI. We couldn't shoot down China, but we sure in the hell got the little green fellas. No. There ain't no way in hell that they're shooting down. And plus, let's be honest here, folks. If they were shooting down little ETs, you don't think that the extraterrestrial beings in these ships wouldn't fly over and just knock the shit out of our White House or wherever the threat that they thought was coming from? Like E.T. is just going to sit there and go, hell, lost a few ships, damn it. No. And if they did, hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, the American military shot down E.T. I think E.T.'s about to whoop the shit out of somebody. Because even E.T. knows that the WEF and the powers that be are all corrupt. You know, they're sitting there going, oh, hell no, you ain't bringing us into this bullshit. I guarantee E.T., if we did shoot down a few extraterrestrial, people, E.T. would be like, oh, hell no. It wouldn't be E.T. phone home. It would be E.T. saying, homie, I'm about to put my foot, or what you would call a foot. It's more of a, a lower arm or something. I don't know what they call their lower extremities. Let's call it a quack lock. I'm about to put my quack lock straight up your ass. You keep shooting our shit down. That may be the message that the White House is receiving. Like, breaking news, UFOs respond to having their ship shot down. Says they're about to put their quad locks, also known as their feet, uh, up Joe Biden's ass. Wouldn't surprise me. Would anything, well, let's be honest, folks, all right? Would anything really surprise you right now if all of a sudden all of our TVs went dark and an alien broadcast came through? And it was an alien from another universe. And they all surprisingly look like William Shatner. And they're like, welcome, humans. We come in peace. And we're like, that bitch looks like William Shatner. Wouldn't it make sense that all of this time, Captain Kirk was an alien? Think about it. If you wanted to participate in the human experience, why not disguise yourself as William Shatner and then integrate yourself on a show about aliens, and then 50 years later you come out and you're like, yeah, we're actually aliens. We all look like this guy. I mean, it would make sense. We have the SEC doing their best to attack cryptos. See, they can't attack cryptos, all right? So they're going after Kraken. They're going after Coinbase. They're going after everyone who bent a knee to them. See, this is the thing about the progressives. And this is the thing about people who deal with progressives. If you give an inch, all right, an inch to the progressives, they'll hang you with that inch. That's why the only answer you ever give a progressive is pluck off. You show them no respect. You give them no authority. You tell them to kiss your ass. See, progressives, they gain their power through the compromise. Reach across the aisle. I, Mitt Romney, I can reach across the aisle and I can compromise on your freedom. See, progressives' movements are the accumulation of compromises strung together into a system of control. That little definition is the progressive movement. No, just compromise a little. Just compromise a little with us, which is the equivalent, right? We have a constitution here in America. They only want a little bit of compromise on that constitution. Just give us a little bit of your freedom. And then they'll take that little bit of freedom and they'll stitch it together with another little bit of freedom they took from you. Then stitch it together with another little bit of freedom they took from you. And before you know it, you're a slave to the system. Well, now, my friends, now they've got the system built. Now they're trying to close. See, they know that their system is the Titanic. They know that the Titanic's going down. But they're trying to lock the doors on the Titanic. Because really, the Titanic was created to be a submarine. Not out in the open, where everybody could see it. Oh no, that's how they started. See, originally, America was the Titanic. People thought it was unsinkable. America's unsinkable. Yeah. Unless you have someone at the helm that's looking to hit an iceberg or looking to change the Titanic. See, they want the Titanic to be a submarine. This is a great question. Hey, Ben, what do you think about ordinals on Bitcoin? Is that the right word? That ordinals on Bitcoin? I thought you were asking something else. Like, what do you think is the origins of actual Bitcoin? As for the origins of Bitcoin, it's an accumulation of technology that reached in 2009, right? And I've said this many a times. In fact, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. NFTs on the BTC blockchain. Absolutely. It's, yeah. See, the strongest blockchain will attract the most adoption and the most, they'll want the Bitcoins, or they'll want NFTs linked with the uncorruptible blockchain, the most powerful blockchain. So yes, absolutely, absolutely. Bitcoin uh, NFTs, yes, yep. It's it's inevitable, folks. See, that's what the the globalists know. They know that the Bitcoin is just going to gain more and more adoption. They know that the Bitcoin use case is going to grow because the Bitcoin is the global anchor to currency and energy truth. You see what I'm saying? It's the anchor that everything else of value can be anchored to. Those who value truth and don't want a manipulated society will anchor their their economic and currency choices to the strongest system. See, in the 1950s, right after World War II, the globe anchored all of their systems to America. That was the strongest economic anchor at the time. In the 70s, everyone switched over to petroleum through the US dollar because petroleum was now the strongest economic uh, system in the world. Initially, it was gold, like back in the 1800s. Initially, gold was the strongest economic system available. So everyone tied to gold. Then, once once technology and once Chocolate Mountain was found, and once uh, the gold in the Grand Canyon was found, they knew that if the information about how much gold was found ever got out, the price of gold would just crash. Just absolutely crash. So they had to slowly move away from gold and silver. Right? Now, fast forward. The progressives wanted control. So they they came up with their plan for the US dollar and they implemented it. Now we're in a new world that there is a decentralized currency system that is incorruptible and cannot be eluded with inflation. That's the Bitcoin. But what they're worried about, let me tell you what they're really worried about. It is this. We're the Bitcoin. If everyone knew what I know and what a lot of other crypto people know, and if they understood human way of thinking, everyone would jump in to Bitcoin right now. See, I'm not hodling my Bitcoin for 4 years. No. I'm not hodling my Bitcoin for 10 years. No. I'm hodling my Bitcoin for generational wealth. Because the Bitcoin, the powers that be, you have to understand how they think. They think generationally. They're progressives. See, progressives, they don't create. What they do is they have a system, the U.S. financial system, all right? They choose winners and losers. That's what grants are. That's what investments are. That's what 401ks and all these hedge funds and all that. They're all making decisions on which way the human experience goes. That's why they have this whole ESG shit now. Energy, social, governments. Because they're trying to remove, all right, they're trying to transition investment choices away from profit driven into system driven. See, they don't want the choices of investors to be driven by profit. They want choices by investors driven by the message of the matrix. Oh, global warming. You realize how they don't really talk about rainforest anymore? They don't really talk about Ethiopians anymore. See, back in the early 80s, when We Are the World came out and they were trying to cure hunger, they were talking about the Ethiopians. And number one, do you know how big Ethiopia is? You know how many people they were talking about saving from starvation? Wasn't really that much in the grand scheme of it all. But the reason that they're not choosing locations like Ethiopia or the rainforest, because those you could solve and you could go, okay, that one's done. They needed a problem that no one even knows the damn goal. What's the goal of the global warming movement? Do you know? I don't know. Are we trying to lower the temperature of the earth? If we are, what is the average temperature of the earth? Does anyone know? If the goal is to lower the temperature, what's the average? What are we shooting for? What's our goal? But just like the SEC, they won't give you answers, because if they give you answers, then you'll be able to achieve the list. See, their goal is not achieving the list. Their goal is controlling the system. That's why you'll never hear the SEC. That's why the SEC will never give a definition of what a digital security is. Because if they do, and we create something other than that, they'll say, oh, wait, no, not that. That's included with security. Wait, no, you told us. Well, yeah, but no. The goal is control. With global warming, the goal is control. It isn't achieving anything tangible. It's control. It's the equivalent of getting into an argument with your wife and you say, honey, what's the problem? And she says, well, if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, well then ain't nothing gonna fucking change. If you don't give me a list of problems, I can't solve them. But that's the key. They don't want a solution. They want you walking on eggshells so they can pick the eggshells. Government's just like an asshole partner that always keeps you on the edge of leaving them. You're this close to packing your shit, and they wind it back a little bit. But as soon as things are okay again, they come at you with another problem. And you're like, well, what the fuck is this? Government is just an abusive spouse that you didn't choose. Everyone, conversation continues on Patreon. click the link over here. Let's solve some problems, folks. And I mean some tangible problems. I think I'm going to end every episode with "fuck the government." Seems like a good sign off. See you guys on Patreon. Click the link under here. On Patreon, I can really express my feelings. Love you guys. See you there in 10 minutes.